Ndungu, CS Njuguna Ndungu, who is also part of the deal. And he expressly said that these two CSs have certainly committed criminal offenses, they have abused office and have gone scot-free against the constitution, and he demanded that they should be fired, they should quit, and they should be prosecuted. Now, before even we go to that, Don, please take us through the newspapers. What are the headlines?
Today in the headlines, we have on the Daily Nation, they say the Daily Nation underwater, like weatherman warns Kenyans to brace themselves for even more rains in the incoming days. And then down there we have a record rains have pounded several parts of the country over the past week, leaving death and devastation in their wake. 20 people dead, more than 80,000 families displaced, and 33 counties drenched. Tourism has also been hit as floods submerged coast hotels. SGR cargo has been delayed while towns, estates, and villages across the country have been marooned. El Nino is here, and the toll is climbing. That one, we see the issue with the El Nino, RUTO saying that there will be no El Nino, but it's like it's happening. And then we have RESIGN. RAILA tells Chirchir and Ndungu over oil deal. Azimio leader Raila ODINGA has called for the immediate resignation of Energy Cabinet CS Davis Chirchir and National Treasury counterpart Njuguna Ndungu over and Njuguna Ndungu there. That was according to the presser over the oil deal that was over the oil deal. Mr. Odinga further demanded that the government tables evidence of an existing government-to-government deal and of Kenya having paid for the fuel in Kenya shillings. That one is there on the Daily Nation front cover. If you want to read more, you can get your copy, a copy of the Daily Nation, and read more on that. And then on the Standard, we have still the politics of fuel. They say opposition leader Raila Odinga has renewed his call that the G2G oil deal is between private entities and not the Saudi Arabia government. He has called for the resignation of officials involved in the deal and probe by the EACC Auditor General and EPRA. But MP says Parliament has documents. Yeah, that one we found that actually we saw RUTO saying that the government has proof of that. And then down there we have window treasury used to get money to finance oil deals. We can get your copy and read more on that. At the side there we have intrigues around exit of Kenya Power Boss. You can read more of that. And then up there we have Aviation Authority reawakens Ruto's Western land ghosts. And then we have WB to give Kenya shillings 1.8 trillion in loans and aids. That's World Bank. Australia bars its way to greatness. Yeah, we can read more on those articles. And then we have the Star. The Star says maize rise tax waivers cost taxpayers 16 billion shillings. And then food prices remain high and government raises charges to get revenue. And then down there we see that could be higher as CS didn't disclose surrendered cash as a result of sugar imports. You can read more on that. And then yesterday we had two chopper crashes in Wajir. One was going to pick exam papers, and there was another one that was going to send relief aid to those people who were affected by the floods in that county. And still we have on the People's Daily we have the same Raila fuel saga, Raila wants CSS to quit. Yeah, I think that has been the main article for like almost all the newspapers in the country. Okay, and then yesterday we saw Harambee Stars for the first time beating someone 5-0. Congratulations, Harambee Stars. Though we cannot say that the team was strong, but congratulations, at least you made us proud outside Kenya. Yeah.
2.5 million.
Yeah, 2.5 million times 3 is not. I heard it's 2.1 million times 3. So maybe they're expecting a good money there. So congratulations on Harambee Stars, and yeah, we are proud of you. So yesterday we had Raila Odinga insisting and continuing his with this pressure, with this explosive pressure on RUTO fuel saga, and he made some few revelations yesterday, and he rubbished some of RUTO's claim on Sunday that about the oil deal. He responded to RUTO saying that President Ruto still is not saying the truth, and he was insisting that Ruto should come out and say the truth, and the truth will set him free. Do you think that truth will set Ruto free, according to you?
According to President Ruto, during his speech on Sunday, when he was addressing the congregants, he made some assertions on what Raila Odinga had said. And he expressly said that he is running a transparent government and that all those contracts are available in parliament. And so he expressly told the opposition to stop saying that they want contracts, because those contracts are in the public domain and there is no secret contract anywhere. But then again, he dared Raila to substantiate his allegations, adding that the process was transparent and open. Okay, fine. He said that the process was transparent and open, but we also see Raila Odinga poking holes and saying that this government-to-government oil deal has still a lot of questions more than answers left, because there is something that he said that really caught my eye about the EPRA. The EPRA are the people is the institution that is in charge of pricing oil, right?
Yeah.
And Raila said that the EPRA chairman or the EPRA director, Kipto, is the person who went to broker the oil deal, and at the same time, this EPRA person, he goes to broker, negotiate the oil deal, and then comes back to the country to do the pricing of the oil.
Yeah.
That is not right. Even in the constitution, it is not right. You go and broker and control. Well, if Raila is making these allegations, then he must have evidence to substantiate what he is saying. And so you cannot play the referee and at the same time you are you are the player at the same time.
Yeah.
So he needs to come out. I think the government also needs to come out clearly. I remember the beginning of Ruto's administration. He said that they want a very robust and strong opposition. Now, when this robust and strong opposition presents itself, now they start creating stories. Now you see the questions that Raila Odinga is actually bringing to the fore. These are questions that actually the Kenyan Mwananchi needs to ask. So there he brought a lot of accusation against this Ruto regime G2G deal. He said there's violation of consumer rights under the Bill of Rights in the G2G government, that the transparency of fuel contracts signed by all parties in the alleged G2G arrangement is not even there. There is criminal collusion through price fixing, and there are other corrupt trade practices in the G2G arrangement. Now, when the government is asked to, substantiate these claims and make it clear for the common wananchi, because we are the taxpayers, and these oil prices are affecting us as the common wananchi, especially the people at the bottom of the economic pyramid. And so what Raila is actually asking is that the government needs to come clear with the documentation. It needs to come. Don't show us the contracts, show us the process. And he also outlined the criteria applied by the G2G arrangement. I think that is very critical, so that we may understand how this G2G arrangement came about in arriving at the prices in which Kenya is to buy fuel. I think that is a very critical question. And also the criteria applied by the EPRA, who, according to Raila Amolo Odinga, was playing the referee and the player at the same time, how the EPRA arrived at the prices that the Kenyan consumer shall buy those petroleum products. Remember the border people, they are actually complaining. And then also, what also caught my eye was what Raila said, the criteria applied in the G2G arrangement in arriving at the demurrage and other levies and charges. What was the criteria that was used? And he also called out on 3 institutions. He called out on the KRA, he called out on the EACC, and he also called out on the EPRA to come out and defend these allegations and bring out those documents, so that whatever Raila is saying vis-a-vis what happened during the G2G arrangement might be clear for the Kenyans to see. Actually, this is something that is transparent. So if Raila is saying this, then they have to substantiate. And also the CS for energy, you need to be clear. The CS for treasury, you need to be clear. Why would the oil marketers why will they be coming to the forefront to defend the government? That is not their job. If Raila tells the government he is the person who is in charge of checks and balances, is the opposition leader. So it's his job to actually poke holes and ensure that the government does things according to the constitution and according to the rule of law. And if he sees that the government is not going the right way, that is his job. So Raila is in his line, and what the government needs to do is to come out and substantiate the claims that they are making and provide and show Kenyans those documents that they are that those documents that are actually substantiating that the government to government deal will actually ensure that the shilling does not weaken any longer. And also, Kenyans want the oil prices to go down. That is the main thing. Ruto was saying that this deal was to ensure that the shilling is stabilized, but that one has not happened yet. The oil prices are still on the up on the roof. The Kenya shilling has not yet stabilized. And they also need to substantiate that what they said about being able to buy oil prices through the Kenya shilling vis-a-vis buying it at the dollar, which has enabled the Kenya shilling to weaken. Yeah, I think those are very, very, very critical allegations that have been made by Raila Amolo Odinga. And I know, and I strongly know, that for a national leader like Raila Odinga, who has been in the opposition for all these years, he would not make such allegations lightly. He must have evidence to support what he is saying and to come out to the forefront. And so what Ruto said during this after the service, and what Imani Ichung'wah said, and what the UDA people said to rubbish those claims, we Kenyans are woke. They just need to come out strongly and tell us what is going on with this G2G deal, because we are the taxpayers. We need to know what is happening. We are the employees. We need to know what is happening. We will not brush it off. We will not rub it under the carpet. The oil prices are up. Cost of living is up. So they need to tell us something to convince us.
Yeah, before we proceed, we have Mohammed Khair, someone watching from Sudan, and then we have George Njadhi, anasema give us a break. I don't know what you mean. If you're watching us on Facebook and you're not a follower, you can follow Lightcast TV Kenya on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and or X, formerly X, on X, formerly Twitter, and then you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Lightcast TV Kenya. So Raila Odinga raised another concern.
You will have noticed that even as our Ministry of Energy and Petroleum was signing deals with state-owned corporations in the Middle East, our own National Oil Corporation is completely left out. NOC has a legal mandate to participate in all aspects of the petroleum industry and is only owned by the government of Kenya through a joint ownership by the ministry responsible for the petroleum function. How does Churchill explain the exclusion of this corporation in favor of private shady firms? If he was signing, he should have signed with the minister. Is equivalent on the other side. But those companies are the ones who should sign with the NOC, not the minister. We also know that for a ship to leave one port for another, loaded with goods, it has to get a letter from the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum indicating that the ship is authorized to carry and offload the cargo in Kenya. Who cleared the Njeri ship to travel to Kenya? How did it offload?
Serious questions Raila's asked there. There are things that are not clear on what is happening in this regime. I think as much as we are saying that Kimani Ichung'wah was coming out and maybe trying to defend RUTO ama to defend what's happening or the happenings right now on issues to do with oil, I think Raila, the likes of Kimani Ichung'wah, they just know what is happening. But since you have to maybe to protect your employer and please your master, you just have to defend him hata kama kitu iko wrong ama it's not hata kama kitu iko wrong. So I think there should be accountability from this government. And the way I say that they should first admit that there is a problem and they should work towards solving the problem. Because the thing that's happening, you can't raise taxes and expect Kenya to that you have raised the taxes now. You have not created a good business conditions for some businesses to thrive and Kenyans to get money, so that to give back maybe to give their taxes to the government. So if you are saying that you are giving you are raising taxes right now, we shouldn't have ninatufai kuwa na cases mingi za unemployment, like people lacking money, people complaining here and there. So in the midst of that complaining, raise taxes, that isn't a good approach. I think President Ruto should have focused, maybe in the first 2 years in office, we should have focused on how to raise the living standard of Kenyans, so that people may get money, open chances for the jobs, not from this housing finance, both housing, affordable housing plan. Like other, he would have created a good working environment for those companies to thrive, kungekuwa na high rate of employment na people wangekuwa na pesa, as much as maybe watu hawezi kutoshana kwa society, but at least it's good for people to have money. So if you have money, unajua kama kuna, if you have maybe you earn something like 20k maybe per week, and someone tells you that he wants maybe 6,000 tax, you always complain, because at the end of the day, when you ukipiga hesabu zako, maybe you balance with the 14k balance that you have, yeah, you'll be able to thrive, and you'll be able to cope up with some things, and cost of living na kila bei ya vitu venye ziko. Hata kama maybe unaambia watu bei ya unga ni thao na mtu ana earn vizuri, watu hawezi complain, you understand? Because I think people are complaining because the cost of living inaendelea kuwa juu, taxes zinaendelea kuwa juu. We can see kuna time nimebuy token ya thao. Token ya thao saizi, if you buy token ya thao unapatiwa 400, token ya 400. The other balance goes to tax. Basically, people are making fun. It's like if you buy token, you are just buying taxes. You understand? So like unaona taxes zinaendelea kuwa raised, but salaries zinabaki constant, like earnings zinabaki constant. Useme, let's say for a mjengo person, the way the mjengo person used to earn back then in let's say for example in 2016 and right now, the rate is just the same. Unaona kuna earn 500 per day mpaka wa leo, na bei ya unga ama bei ya vitu back then with the 100 bob, you could have done a lot with the 100 bob compared to right now, because right now even that 100 bob haizi tosha hata unga ndogo. Una understand? If you buy one unga ni hivyo, ama if you buy kitu moja ni hivyo. So I think the government should have created, of course, we in some way the cost of living inaendelea kuwa juu, maybe because of maybe circumstances maybe that we can see, but tungeelewa kama maybe akungekuwa na loans zinaendelea kukopwa. Kama juzi jana nimeona pia World Bank wanataka kuissue another loan. Tungeelewa kama hatuoni hizi sarakasi za fuel, sarakasi za oil zikiendelea na vitu kama hizo. And then what we saw is like President Ruto trying to defend himself, asema like during your time kulikuwa na watu walikuwa wanapanga line kwa fuel station like that's like yes, and then it was saying that what the measures he has tried to take, Ruto, he has tried to make sure that each and every fuel station doesn't lack oil, as in your scarcity of oil is poor. But as much as you are doing that, this drama, I think the issues RAILA is raising, it should come out clear and tell Kenyans what is actually happening. If there's someone who's mwenye ana lag behind job yake, atuambie. Kama ni Chirchira maybe afanyi kazi yake mzuri, atuambie. You understand?
Interesting thoughts there by Don. Well, it's just like you've said. I think the government needs to come out clear. From what I've seen on the ground, people have lost confidence in this government because 1 year later, they're still mentioning Uhuru Kenyatta. They've been in the government for 1 year. And still, you remember when Ruto came into government, he said, if I put my Bible down, I'll ensure that I ease the heaviness of the cost of living and ensure that people are actually living within their means, and the people of the bottom of the economic pyramid are able to, to be able to be, they have that, the space whereby they can be able to move up from where they are at financially. But what we have seen actually is completely the opposite of what the Kenya Kwanza manifesto stood for when they were campaigning. The bottom up economic agenda, they were to start from the bottom up, lifting up those people who are at the bottom of the economic pyramid. But we see that everything has just skyrocketed out of nowhere. The fuel prices have gone up. They started and they campaigned for the finance bill, which doubled up the tax from 8% to 16%. And they forgot to expand the tax base. I think for this 1 year that has just ended, maybe Ruto could have considered in creating an enabling environment, especially for the Mama Mboga, and also for the boda people, or those people who have SME small businesses. He could have provided ways and means for them to be able to pesa mfukoni, so that they can, if you have more money in your pocket, then you have the capacity to actually pay taxes, pay your bills, and maybe to have something even also to save as well.
Sure.
So I think from my part, from what I understand how the government needs to work, they have been voted in by the people.
True.
So it is the people who need to express their distaste or express their appreciation or express what they feel like the government has done. And as we speak right now, yes, Chirchir alienda Sotik, and you saw what happened at his backyard, and he was heckled, and Ruto had to come to his rescue, trying to tell people stories. Niko na story. I mean, this government has so much stories to tell the people, but why don't you show us projects that you have done? You are coming on the ground and letting people see that you are moving from one project to another, opening up projects, launching projects, and these projects were some that were actually done by the former regime, that is Uhuru Kenyatta. So what this government needs to learn is they need to listen to the people, because as Edwin Sifuna said during one of his addresses, he said that the state of the nation is the state of the people.
True.
You cannot talk about the state of the nation and yet the people are suffering. If the state of the nation is so poor that people are actually grappling and complaining, then you need to tell the people on the ground what are the issues that you're trying to resolve, so as to ensure that people actually have confidence in you. Right now, the people have lost confidence in this government, and I don't know for how long these people can take, from both sides of the political divide. The UDA and the Azimio people on the ground are not happy, and the people of the ODM side are telling people of UDA, "Sinyinyi ndio mlisema ni maombi." So you grapple with that situation. In fact, the politicians were saying, "Raila, shut up, don't talk." These are the people who said that Kenya Kwanza government is the government of the day and they're supposed to put their fears to rest. But as we speak right now, it is not like that. And as the Azimio leader has just said, the government needs to come clean. CS Chirchir needs to come clean. The CS for Treasury also needs to come clean. Some of the monies were taken out of the Treasury, yet the Parliament had not approved. How did that even happen? Is the legislature actually not working anymore? It's no longer independent, as Raila is saying. So they've already been bought. So it's actually about put the question. There is no debate. There is no actually more of scrutinizing and analyzing how this money is actually being used. This is money that we are actually paying, the money that the taxpayers are emitting out of their pockets every day. Mama mboga analipa tax kila siku. Kuna mtu anakuja hapo kwa kibanda yake anachukua pesa. Also those who are owning these SMEs, they are paying taxes.
True.
And now they need to see where the money is going. And I don't think it's fair for the Kenyans for them to be taken for a ride like this. I think the government needs to come clean.
Yeah, so the way that you've said on the ground, the way Chirchir was booed and heckled, I think you remember those phone calls Ruto was making before his State of the Nation address. Complete
PR. I am a PR person. I'm a professional at that, so I actually know what PR is. So
I think on my side, I think you should have just maybe gone to the ground the way he did in Sotik, after going to the ground and getting that real reaction from the people. Not from the phone calls he was making, because from the phone calls you can't tell if that person was who was being called was genuinely a hustler, or maybe someone was prepared and has scripted like what to say and what to do, or after that call there was some sort of payment. So that one you can't prove. I think from the PR side, according to my opinion, they played like a little game iko chini, unaona. They should, unaona kama Ethia Chirchir, I think after those, if we should have gone to like around 20 places in Kenya and get that feedback in video form, like calls the press, the presidential press to cover the reaction from the people direct, live and direct. And then after that, I think the state of address, state of address in parliament will have made sense a little better, because right now people are not enjoying like whatever is happening. And if you find a person enjoying, maybe he's just enjoying on social media, saying that leave President Ruto alone, leave our president alone, leave our government alone, but the person the typing that leave our president alone, pale kwa ground anasuffer. So it's like trying to, wanasemanga ati kufa na mtu wako hata kama utakufa pamoja. Ruto is not kuffering, was not dying. It's you who is dying of hunger, of a lack of employment, lack of jobs, lack of those like basic stuff you may need for maybe the school fees, whatever you need for your family, like to grow well. It's not Ruto that is lacking, it's you that is lacking, because hata Ruto akisema leo unga ikuwe 2k, Ruto will afford that, but common mwananchi will suffer. If Raila ata afford hiyo, most of the opposition leaders wata afford hiyo, so mwenye atabaki hapo chini akigrapple na hii na economy ama the weight of the economy ni common mwananchi. So sometimes before you make a comment like trying to defend someone who has done wrong, something, yes, being a diehard is good, that's your choice, and you will not be forced to support a particular candidate, but you should come out and try and correct that person, say that hapa nilikuwa na kusupport but on this no. You understand? That's now being a true fan and a true supporter of someone. If you can be able to stand out and correct someone on that particular issue. Don't just come out and defend someone hata kama makes sense. Kuna interview unaona mtu anasema like kuna mtu atadefend mtu hata kama maybe mtu akona pesa, hata mtu akikohoa atakuwa amesema point of which that's not true kwa ground. So I think it's high time for Kenyans maybe to unite and stand for what is right. Now they stand in one voice, because as much as kwa ground mimi ni wa UDA ama mimi ni wa Azimio, bei ya kiberiti ni hata kama ni 10 bob tutabai wote 10 bob. Bei ya unga ikiwa so mbili tutabai wote so mbili. Hakuna supermarket ya mtu wa UDA na mtu wa Azimio, there's none. So I think it's high time for Kenyans to stand and stand for what is right.
Before we even got something else, there's something that you have pointed out, and I need to let maybe those who are not professional journalists to understand. As a journalist, as the media, our job is to set the agenda. Secondly, the job of the media is to hold the government and the establishment accountable. We do not subscribe to the government. We do not subscribe to any private properties. We subscribe to the people on the ground. They are looking at us because the stories that we churn out actually inform the decisions that the people on the ground make. So whatsoever thing that you see is happening and the media is part of it, the media is actually the mirror. So it is our job as journalists to ensure that we bring stories that are truthful and that can actually be verified at the same time.
True.
So when you see journalists asking hard questions, we are actually doing our job. Tunafanya kazi yetu. So whether you are aligned to UDA or ODM and you are asking these politicians hard questions, it is up to us for us to find out what is actually going on. We are the fourth estate. Yes, we're the fourth estate, and we owe our allegiance to the people, because it is the people who are actually looking at us to mirror what is happening in the society. And as a result of what is happening on the ground, they can actually make informed decisions. So, mambo, okay, fine, you have every right to make your opinion. You have every right to say whatever you want to say. You have every right, but as journalists, we'll keep on doing our job. Yeah.
Okay. So for those watching us on Facebook, you can follow us on Facebook and share this video to reach many people, and then you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are not there for more video updates on politics and breaking news. So far, we don't have any other comment. Yeah, thank you very much for those who are tuned in. And then yeah, so there's this as we can just repeat this video of President Ruto trying to defend himself from RAILA ODINGA.
Katika taifa letu la Kenya, ni vizuri nieleze watu wa Kenya tuache siasa duni na porojo ndogo ndogo. Wale watu wanajaribu kutueleza ati they are telling us we must prove that this transaction between Kenya and the international oil companies is above board. I want to tell them without fear of any contradiction, na niwaangalie kwa macho, wacheni uongo, wacheni rumors, wacheni speculation, semeni ukweli. Hapa Kenya, wakati mimi nimechaguliwa kama rais, watu walikuwa napiga mlolongo kwa petrol station, hakukuwa hata na mafuta. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Si watu walikuwa wanahangaika kupiga foleni, unaenda petrol station hii hakuna mafuta, unaenda hiyo ingine hakuna mafuta. Kampuni zote, karibu kampuni 100 za mafuta za Kenya zilikuwa zimefungwa kwa sababu hawakuwa na uwezo ya kutafuta madola. Hiyo transaction tumefanya imesort out mambo matatu. Ya kwanza, imesort out matatizo ya supply. Sasa hakuna petrol station yenye haina mafuta, number 1. Number 2, imesort out problem ya madola. Walikuwa wanahangaika kampuni kutafuta dola kutoka benki hii ati benki hii ati benki ile, kwa sababu hakukuwa na mpango ya sawasawa. Serikali ya Kenya tumefanya MOU ya kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunaweza kununua mafuta, kampuni zetu ziweze kununua kwa pesa ya Kenya badala ya kutafuta madola. Today, all oil companies, oil marketing companies in Kenya, they buy fuel, they buy petroleum products in Kenya shillings. Something that never happened and was never imagined. Na jambo la tatu ni kwamba ile transaction tumefanya na Saudia na UAE, leo watu ya Uganda, watu ya Tanzania, watu wa Rwanda ndio wanaenda kutafuta ile sisi tayari tuko naye, because our transaction was the best. Every day is looking for the transaction similar to the one that we have. So we are above board, and I want
That
to say,
was
kama unataka kujua,
President William Samoei Ruto giving an address on Sunday at Sotik, and he was defending CS Chirchir, and he was trying to retaliate on the dossier that was revealed by Raila Amolo Odinga. And you've heard the speech before. You've heard that he's telling the opposition that they need to come out strongly and not lie to Kenyans, stop making baseless allegations, because he said that they are inconsequential and the documents are in parliament, reiterating the fact that in the previous regime, people are actually lining up to buy petrol. And so, yeah, we've heard that, and vis-a-vis what Raila has revealed, let us wait. This is a developing story. The EACC should be involved. The KRA should be involved. All the state agencies that are involved in investigating corruption I'm sure that they are aware of what is going on in matters this G2G deal, and we hope that it will come to a speedy conclusion, and all those powerful people behind the corruption syndicate that is happening this G2G deal will be brought to book. They shall be fired and they shall be prosecuted. If not, then let us see these documents as per prescribed by the opposition leader, because he is in his line to criticize and ensure that the government is actually trading well in matters to do with oil, and ensure that they're following the due process and according to the constitution and following the rule of law. This is Ninjal Kolek. Thank you for watching Lightcast TV. Follow us on Lightcast TV at Facebook. Follow us and subscribe at Lightcast TV, Lightcast Entertainment on YouTube channel. Just click and subscribe onto our channel. Click on the notification bell for more updates, and for more news, and for more entertainment pieces. This is Ninjal from me once again, Don.
And I am Don Martin Tryon. See you tomorrow.
Bye.